We have an extra special coffee break conversation for you today. I am joined by someone who is very familiar with Wedgwood, Jimaine Wilson, also known as Six Man. Thank you for joining us today, Jimaine.
Thank you for having me.
Can you share a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, I'm an artist, hip hop artist, Six Man. I started in the late 90s doing hip hop. I had my first regional success in the hip hop industry with a title track called Who Am I, The Definition. Came out of here in 99. Ever since, I've been touring around from Europe to the United States and just putting out music. And so that's kind of who I am.
Very cool. Mm-hmm. How would you describe your music or your creative vision?
Would describe my music as very real to the common person. And a bit inspirational and a little bit of teaching along with my music. That's how I would describe it.
Great. So what brings you back to Grand Rapids?
Well, I'm here doing what we call a homecoming concert. It's called Return of the Boom Bap. So I haven't been able to really play in Grand Rapids headlining for maybe 10, 15 years. It's been everywhere else. So we have the chance and the opportunity to do it, and we're actually doing 2 more events surrounding the big concert. So we turned it into a 3-day cultural event for the concert. So that's why I'm back home today.
And how does it feel to be back home?
It feels wonderful. Brings back a lot of memories, a lot of good memories, positive memories, just looking around. That's why you see me just looking around, taking it in. Yeah.
So thank you for making the time to join us today. And can you talk a little bit about your connection to Wedgwood?
Absolutely. So back in, late 90s, I came into Wedgwood. I was in foster care at that time. And I was kind of getting in trouble on the streets. And instead of them throwing the book at me, they sent me here. And I stayed here for maybe about 1.5 to 2 years. And I learned a lot. I did.
What did you learn about yourself while you were here?
I learned a lot of things. I wasn't a person that was taking accountability for anything in life that I was doing. Blaming, making excuses. So I figured out that I'm not those things and that there's still hope for me. And I found out that I was actually musically inclined while I was here. I was playing a lot of sports before I came in here. I was real big into football. So I found out that I think my true voice and what I wanted to say was going to come through music, and I found that here.
And how has that shaped you and helped you get you where you are today? I mean, discovering you have musical talent is kind of a big deal if you're a musician.
Right. Shaped me in many ways. It helped me to be able to conduct myself around people in society and around people in high-level places to be able to really, talk and conduct myself properly. So, but the biggest thing that I learned and I took away that still holds with me today is the word accountability. I notice I say it in text messages when I'm talking or when there's disputes with the girlfriend or a friend. I'm always using that word accountability. And it was one of the biggest words while we were here because you had to take accountability for all your actions, everything. So I would say that's something that really kind of shaped and stayed with me. That.
Is there a particular moment, memory, or staff member that you'll never forget and has kind of stuck with you?
Yeah. My therapist, Ron.
Okay.
He's a great guy. Really was a great guy. I was talking to my mother about him the other day. I was like, "You remember Ron?" I was like, "He really was a cool therapist, though. He was straight. He didn't never make me feel like I was less than or." He just didn't make me feel like that. Like, he was real easy to talk to, and I liked that about Ron. I wish I could remember his last name. I could see his face clear as day. Another staff member I'll never forget is a guy named, last name Schaefer. Might have been Tom Schaefer. Schaefer was one of the hardest staff members on the whole campus. And I remember a lot of the kids, they like, "Yo, Schaefer?" They're like, "Bruh, he hardcore." And I saw that he was.
Mm-hmm.
We butted heads a lot. But with the awesome thing out of it, for him to be such a stern, direct person, and for me to be able to conversate and communicate and deal with, and my journal be able to get through it with him, because most kids couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
He'd send you back, and they hated it. So for me to get to a point where I could get through those things with Schaefer, I'll never forget that, ever. There was another guy, his name was Brian. Brian was actually a guy I knew from back in the inner city who happened to get a job here. I thought it was it was uncomfortable for me because I'm like, I really know him and he really know me. But he never judged me. When I got out and I put my first album out, he was the first one that came to me and bought a whole box of them from me. So I never forget that. I was like, wow. And then my school teacher, this tall lady, long blonde hair, and then April DeBarge, who's married to Tommy DeBarge from the group DeBarge. She was an assistant teacher there. We knew her from church. That made me feel comfortable because I was like, okay, it's somebody that knows me, really knows me, and they're really trying to help me focus while I'm in school and really put me to where I need to be because they knew of me. So I'll never forget that circle of people from here, ever.
It sounded like they all really were like supportive while you were trying to figure things out.
Right.
If you could share some advice for the kids who are currently in Wedgwood's residential care, trying to figure things out for themselves, what would you tell them?
Take the time and let the program be of help and substance to you, meaning take time in therapy to really give it your all, to really deal with your things inside of therapy. Try to find your voice while you're inside of here. So if you're passionate already kind of about drawing, reading, studying, sports, music, find the voice while you're here. When I was in that room, sometimes I would draw a lot and write poetry a lot. And in doing it so much and so long, it just kind of instilled something into me. And then I took it with me outside of here. So I would like to tell the kids, you got to find your voice while you're here and you're inside that room and you're in your mind and you think that it's over and you think that there's no hope. To not think that way and to find your passion and to drive yourself in it and turn your pain into your gain is what I would say.
Is there anything you want to make sure that the staff know about the work that they're doing?
I would say be genuine, and I know staff members are caring, but just be genuine because some of these kids this is their life and that's the realest thing to them. And you got to keep doing your job. I would just say, just be genuine, try to understand, and just keep doing what you guys have been doing is what I would say. Look at me.
And all those staff members that you mentioned before were genuine with you?
Ron was always genuine with me, my therapist, always. Schaefer, he was a little bit more hardcore on me, but I think I needed that too. My teachers were very caring, from the lady who's my aunt, April, and to the other lady who's my teacher. They were very caring. I didn't feel like they just wanted to throw me away, throw me off in the timeout. I didn't feel like they took their time with me. So I would say, take your time with some of these kids, you know, and I know you guys do your best. I don't know, I'm just always thinking about the kids and I'm hoping that, you know, they don't give up on themselves type of thing, you know, so that's what I would say.
And is there anything you want to make sure the people who support Wedgwood, that they know about what happens here?
The people that support Wedgwood, keep supporting Wedgwood because it really matters. Kids like me who were here and kids who are here, really need people to really care about us. We need to feel it. That was my important thing about coming and wanting the kids to see somebody who looked like them, talked like them, felt it. So just keep being a part and just keep caring. That's my biggest thing. Just keep caring. It goes a long way with kids like us.
It's beautiful. If people are interested in your music and what you are up to, where can they go for more information?
Real easy. They can check me out at The Real Six Man on all social media platforms. All my music's on Spotify, iTunes, Tidal. I have a Bandcamp page. Just look up The Real Six Man anywhere. I'm very easy to find. You'll find all my music, merchandise, and stuff like that where I'm touring.
Perfect. Well, it was a joy to chat with you today, Jimaine, and it is an honor to have you here sharing your story, your heart, and your experience. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.